Welcome today to Mikey's Empires Tutorials. Today I'm going to teach you how to rat a nullsec with a regular ratting boat. Uh, Anything that has missile turrets or gun turrets. Pretty much going to be a similar setup. Of course you want to make sure you got ammo, spare ammo, something to kill the smaller stuff. Make sure you got a good tank and everything set up to tank whatever you're trying to, whatever nom you're trying to do. You want to have local opened up so that way you can see if there's any reds or newts that come into your system. You want to have intel channels open up so that way you know if there's anything coming up the pipe towards your system. When you undock, before you want to start ratting, you want to make sure you have an insta warp off and a safe pause. A couple safes usually does you good. And the newest addition to ratting anymore is the mobile tractor units, which I should pick one up. It's always good to have station containers and stuff. Make sure all your stuff's nice and organized. Wow. But the mobile tractor unit, if you don't be a bit of a dingy like I am and forget, it's gonna do you a lot of good in salvaging after each anom. Usually it's good to set up 2 or 3 depending on how many your ship can hold and still have a fair amount of ammo. But I've only got 1. And you make sure your safes are set up. Insta warp off. So that way you can actually see if there's anything on the station if you have no choice but to dock. You're gonna be at least 300-ish or more away. Safe POS saved. It's better to work to that than a station if there is neutrals that come in. Usually you warp to 0 on the site. Make sure all your stuff is activated. Usually you want to be in a fleet. Make sure you're fleeted. It's usually a fleet up or set one up for your area, your local space. So there isn't one right now. And make sure you got your TeamSpeak running set to your alliance channel. And all that good stuff, so that way if there is a red that comes in local, someone can actually tell you in comms. And the best trick here is to burn toward the area, whatever the center point of all this is. Once you get close, shut your prop mod off, cut your speed to 75%, and align toward your safe. The reason you do this is because since you're actively aligned at 75% speed, that means whenever you do warp off, you're going to warp off instantly. Now, since all this stuff has ranges on it, you can eventually, given a haven or a very long anom, drift so far outside of range that you can no longer shoot anything. And all you do then is just get back to one of these. There's always these little structures here. And you just burn back toward that again and redo all this all over again. Since you know who's in local, if anyone shows up, there could be someone logged off in this site, and it happens sometimes. They try and gank you that way. Either way, the moment someone logs in, comes in, or whatever, you're gone. They can't even land fast enough to lock you. They'll still technically be in warp, and you can see them in your overview by the time you're done warped off. It's usually good too if a newt does come in to not work to the same anomaly, because there's wrecks and stuff in there that will show that you've been in that anom. I forgot to drop my mobile tractor unit, but that's the first thing you do before you start shooting anything is drop your MTU, so that way your salvage is already nice and cleanly done for you. But if you really have to warp to a station and a nuke comes in, you want to warp to your insta warp. Instead of warping straight to the station, because they can bubble up the station, and then when you warp to it, you're going to warp to like 30 kilometers away, which is close enough for them to scramble you and gank you, but too far away from you to dock. So the best thing to do is warp to it instead and make sure you can actually visually see the station before you warp to the dock. And that's pretty much all the tricks there is to staying alive when riding a nullsec.